Learn how to defend yourself with a cane for beginners. Lesson 1, we're going over the basics so that you can get your cane, get started, learn how to defend yourself as fast as humanly possible. I want you to have this basic skill of self-defense, basic level from the very first time you have your cane. Start with your cane in your right hand, right here on the hook. You're gonna turn your palm facing the sky and you're gonna twist it forward. And this is to get the blood flowing, keep you safe from injury during the workout. This is also to help you lean out, get stronger, increase mobility, flexibility, strength, and endurance. Those are the goals for this training. Palm up, you're cranking forward. You want to get stronger, you want to improve your well-being, but mostly it's all about defending yourself with this cane. Twist it forward and now turn your hand over and start to bring it back. It's a very simple figure 8 motion. I'm going down across my body and my palm is up as I bring it back. You're gonna allow it to move a little in your hand too. It shouldn't be so tight that there's no movement. You want it to twist a little inside your hand. Your other hand is up, guard your head, protect yourself, elbows in, make sure it's not sticking out here, you're gonna whack it. You can learn that fast, you'll learn it the hard way. That's how I am though. Sometimes I have to learn the hard way. Bring it into the other hand, palms up, the long side comes out of the thumb, and you're gonna make this cranking motion or turning motion. When you do that, it starts to spin in your hand. You have to loosen your hand a little bit so it goes through. You're trying to build the callus on your hand so that this moves through your hand very quickly. You're gonna be in this position sometimes, it's gonna change the other hand sometimes you'll be here, but all of that is gonna happen kind of intuitively as it slides through your hand. And then quickly defending yourself, striking all the way through, speed, power, balance with a tight grip, and that comes from this spinning. So it's in the hand, you're twisting, you're going around the body, you're starting to get the heart rate up a little bit, bring it over and back. And again, it's got to be able to move in your hand, so loosen the grip a little, but don't open it. So loosen it a little, stomach up and in, abs tight. All of the exercises you do with me now, you can also do if you're sitting in a chair. And I suggest that you practice in a chair, because whether you need to use a chair or not, you'll always need to know how to defend yourself from a seated position. They're not going to wait till you're on your feet to smash you in your face. You might be sitting, and in that position, you have to be coming up very quickly. Yeah, it might be. Spinning, though, is a little dangerous. Spinning can be timed. In other words, if you start spinning and you're over here, I'm going to jump in, collapse that arm, and I'm going to take it from you, if they know what they're doing. But it can be. Now, there's another kind of spinning, and you're going to learn this too, and that is this kind of spinning. But see how my hand is closed and it's coming through? And this kind of spinning, that's almost like striking, 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 striking. This can also be striking from a different hand position. But this is a little bit bigger motion. This one gives you a little bit more control, and you can think of it as slicing, slicing, and we're gonna go over all of that. There's nothing that's wrong with any of the training, because you're not gonna focus on technique, you're gonna think about principles. Principle 1 of cane self-defense is situational awareness, paying attention to what's happening around you. Now that you've warmed up with this basic spinning, which is so important for your overall conditioning when you learn how to fight with a cane, with a self-defense cane, or a combat cane, or even a basic walking cane. Once you're warmed up, you're gonna put one foot in front of the other one, put your weight on your cane a little bit, and then practice getting into what I call a better position, which is the second part of self-defense with a cane. Number 1, situational awareness, what's happening around me. Number 2, get in a better position. And that basically, see, I lift and it slides, and it's instinctive. At some point, you'll stop thinking about it. But again, that spinning is going to build the callus, proprioception, spatial awareness, and it's going to allow you to spin and just pull it straight down. Now, the goal is to put my stick between me and the threat. So if this is the threat, we call this water bag a threat. I'm here, he's coming, maybe he's got a knife, maybe it's a punch, maybe it's multiple attackers. I want to put the stick between me and the threat. Now, see here, it's interrupting your line of sight. From the beginning, you can learn how to do that. From here, I just step in, or you can step back. Either way though, you'll see the cane in this position is in the front hand. If I step in, it's in the front hand, I step in with the right because it's my right foot. If I step back, it's in my right hand. Step back with the left, because it's in my right hand. But either way, I want this stick that doesn't bleed, doesn't have any nerves between me and the threat. I'd rather them hit this than hit this, right? Or cut me, I'd rather they cut here than try to cut me here. No, it's not locked. If the elbow is locked, it'll push you back a little bit, but if you keep it softened a little bit, and there's something in martial arts called tendon lock, and that's an angle that this extends. It's either 70 or 120 degrees, depending on which side of the circle you're on. 70 or 120. 90, you're gonna hit yourself, right? In other words, if you put your hands in this blocking position and your hands are less, then your hands are just gonna, no matter what, you're not strong enough to keep somebody's body from coming in. Your arm will not win against their body. But if you have this correct angle, your whole body is gonna move back. This is called a tendon lock. From here, it's just a slight bend in that elbow, and that your whole body will go back like the bumper of a car. Think of it as I'm protecting my grill, right? Like just like on the bumper of your car, the bumper's not gonna move. The bumper stays there, and they run into the bumper. It stops them from smashing everything on the front of your car. From here, it's the same thing. This is like the bumper. Let them hit that and not this. Let them cut this and not stick it in there, right? So between me and you, I want this stick. And then I want you to have to look around my stick to see my eyes again. This is called a pattern interrupt for self-defense. This is cane self-defense. So in cane self-defense, situational awareness, what's happening around me, I now feel threatened, my hands are up. And notice that this is open. This is the international symbol for back up, stop, don't touch me, you're too close. And then you give a verbal command, back up, right? I'll defend myself. But they have to look around me. They have to make a decision, conscious decision. So many thugs, punks, bullies. And if you look at what's happening, it's not fully reported in the news, but if you read between the lines, you'll see this explosion of violent crime that's happening everywhere around the world. We're just in a crazy time. So this gives you more options. This is a force multiplier. You're the force. Now you have a better option. So number one, situational awareness. Number two, get in a better position. Number three, ask yourself, what are the targets that you can now remove, either temporarily or permanently, or destroy, right? Eyesight, temporarily, you stick it right in his eye, you put it temporarily between me and him, or it's a strike, right through the eyes, right through the temples, right? Real basic. Maybe it's a butt like this, right in the face, and we're gonna go over that. And then from here, smashing, thanks, I appreciate that. Smashing to the front, maybe coming in with that bayonet strike, right through the middle. The nose, remove their ability to breathe temporarily or permanently through the throat, right? Right like this. You have so much force in this position. It's like a push-up, so your hands are like in the push-up position, and then between you and them, and you just go straight in. Maybe you smash them here, break their teeth down their throat, go through, remove that ability. Either they get the gag reflex, or you're gonna crush something for self-defense. That's what we're talking about, right? Defending yourself with a cane so that you don't have to be the victim. You can go home and you can live your life, and you don't have to be, you don't have to give up your dignity, your safety, your security, all those things. So you have all these options if you focus on principles over techniques. We're gonna tons of techniques. I'm gonna show you every technique I've learned, and then I'm gonna learn more because I don't know everything. And then I'm gonna bring those in, and you're gonna tell me some new ones, but we're always gonna go back to principles when we talk about self-defense. Number one, what's happening around me, situational awareness. Number two, get in a better position. Put that stick between you and the threat. Number three, immediately, very quickly, ask yourself, what are my targets? Then take a deep breath. And that brings us to number four, which is full commitment. You're going all in, every strike, trying to end the fight, trying to make it over with. You don't want to go toe to toe, dancing and bobbing around and bobbing and weaving and trying to, right? That's not what this is about. That's a match, that's a competition. This is not a competition. This is life or death, self-defense. You're going to use violence against violence to stop the violence that's being perpetrated against you or your loved ones. Again, by one attacker or multiple attackers. By an attacker with a weapon in his hand, maybe it's a big chunk of ice or concrete or an iced water bottle, or they're throwing bricks, or maybe it's someone's got one of those expandable batons hitting people. Maybe they've got a baseball bat. Maybe it's a knife, or worse, right? And you're gonna go for self-defense. Maybe it's two or three, and there's one here. You've got to go here, go in here, Maybe it's that, I've seen a lot of them lately, the news stories about the pit bulls and other dogs, but mostly pit bulls in the neighborhood off the chain. They've been abused, and they're either one or in packs, and they maul somebody. And maybe it's that vicious dog that you're defending yourself. You just wanted to go out and be healthy, get some fresh air, some sunshine, and go for a walk in the neighborhood, and you turn the corner, and this thing's coming at you, 80 pounds full of viciousness, jumps up, takes you down, that's it. But now you have some options, right? And it works up here against this threat, it works down here against this threat, and you bring all the same techniques. Now, let's talk about basic techniques, and we're gonna wrap it up, because this is lesson 1. And like I said, I want you from the very first lesson to know how to protect yourself. Yes, obviously. That's why I said bricks and iced water bottles. You picked up on that. You knew what I was talking about. All right, so from here, let's just call it any group of thugs who are trying to hurt people who are innocent and just minding their own business. And you happen to be, like I said, maybe you got to go to work. Maybe you have to go to work at night. A lot of people are picking up second and third jobs just to pay the bills and keep food on the table. And now you're doing things that you haven't done before, and you're in areas that you haven't been before, and you're not as comfortable. So you're just going to carry this, not because you want to threaten, and it's different than a gun, right? Some people carry a gun, they say that's the best weapon for self-defense. And you say yes, in one situation, but you can't take it everywhere. This can go anywhere you can go. No one has to make you prove, especially in the United States, the Americans with Disability Act says if it has this hook on the top, you're allowed to carry this with you into grocery store, your kid's school, airport, onto the plane, train station, bus station, onto the bus, onto the train, in the grocery store. Whether they have a sign on it, they might have a sign that says, please, on the bank, no firearms, no guns, right? No concealed carry. There's never going to be a sign that says you're not allowed to carry this. It's against the law. They're not allowed to do that. So this becomes the most effective self-defense tool that you can ever have, because it can go with you anywhere, and no one can tell you no, and no one can ask you to prove. They can't say, show me a doctor's note. Show me how you need to have it. They're not allowed to do that. This is what it's supposed to have. Oh, and along those lines, rather not kill somebody. But if it's between you and them, or it's them and someone you care about, or them and an innocent child or something, you would gladly do what you had to. And I understand that. But here's the other half of what you just said, which is true. You're on the right track. What if you're just uncomfortable and you're not sure, and you're in an area, like you're pumping gas, or you have to go into the corner bodega to pick up some eggs and cheese and milk for breakfast or whatever, and it's 11 o'clock at night, and you're going past some people, and you're just not sure, you don't feel comfortable because your spidey senses tingling or whatever it is, and you have that concealed carry. I'm gonna put this here for a second, and then all of a sudden you pull it out, and you're like, back up, back up. Everybody whips out their cameras, you're going to jail. They're taking that gun away from you for threatening people, whether you needed it or not. Now, if you needed it, that's self-defense, right? But the point is, if you have the cane, and you can also have that concealed carry, but you have your everyday carry cane, right? And it's made out of oak. And I've got some of those. If you check the link below, you can get this trainer, or I said this last week, I have 5 of these, 4 now, because one is going to North Carolina. But I have 4 left, and they're normally $35 plus $10.40 for shipping. I'm gonna, I got 5. I sold one. Got 4 more for $25, so $10 less. 25 plus $10 shipping and handling. Thank you. Just send me an email, and if you live overseas, I got them for some of you guys who live in other countries who don't have access to our Century Martial Arts website, because they only ship in the United States and UK or something. But send me an email, info@quantumstrong.com, and I'll see if I can get you one, right? And it's, again, $10 less, 25 plus the shipping, $10 or whatever it is, and then I can get it out to you. All right, you pull this out, and you say, hey, hey guys, how's it going? Or maybe even less threatening. Maybe from here, you just, you pull it up, put it in the other hand, it's in this position. From here, it's in this position. From here, either hand, doesn't matter, your other hand is open. How's it going tonight? It's good to see you. Beautiful night, right? But then all of a sudden they become a threat. That goes straight in. That's like a jab. That's like a big fist, big knuckle, right to the throat, right to the eyes, because you're targets. And the whole time you're talking to them, hey, it's so nice to see you. They don't have to know what you're thinking. You're thinking, okay, if he is a threat, or she is a threat, or they are a threat, I'm gonna hit this guy in the face, I'm gonna hit him right in the eyes, right between the eyes. I'm gonna then turn and I'm gonna smash him there, and then I'm gonna bring this hook, and because this other guy is coming at me, and I'm gonna rake it right through his face. I'm gonna take everything off that I can. And then the other guy's coming through here, and then I'm gonna come straight down at that angle and hit with the backside of it. Or I'm gonna come over the top like a rifle, a bayonet strike, and hit this guy in your mind, because you're thinking that, right? That's what this is about. Self-defense, practical self-defense, situation awareness. You ask the vital question, what are my targets? What am I gonna remove or destroy, permanently or temporarily? Eyesight, ability to breathe, temporarily, permanently, their eyes watering, their ability to hear, their ability to grab you, right? Maybe it's straight down, come in like this, smash that right through their nose. Master Gary Hernandez on his website last week, or his Facebook or YouTube channel, I think it was last week or the week before, he had a really good one with this motion here. We're coming through like this. Go check that one out. You want to learn how to do that one a little bit better. But you have all of these great options that you can now do. And then I gotta get the package real quick. All right, hold on, I'll be right back. All right, he left it for me. That's good. I just got some more stuff in. Show you guys in a little bit, because we're gonna do some new training on this channel. Anyway, so that's the point. What are your targets? What are your either gonna remove or destroy? So from here, right foot forward, get in a better position. Practice this strike first. Coming from the shoulder, straight down. Hard and fast, breaking bones, hitting here, hitting here, hitting here. Maybe it's that arm, maybe it's that knife coming in. Maybe they're trying to grab or punch or hit you with that chunk of concrete or that iced water bottle. You're just knocking it down. Other shoulder. So practice this. 30 seconds here, 30 seconds here. Maybe put them together in combination, 1, 2, 30 seconds, and then turn the hand up. Number 3, this angle, your palm is gonna be up. Think of a knife chop coming through their chin to the other side. When it's up this way and it runs into their body, it's not gonna peel out of your hand. If it's here and it runs into their body, it's gonna peel. So turn the palm up, 3, 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then bring it straight through. A horizontal strike with palm facing the sky, from the right to the left, and then turn it over, palm down, left to right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 7, practice coming straight down the middle. Now, does that mean you have to do them in that combination for self-defense? Absolutely not, because who knows which one you'll use. You'll say maybe it's his eyes, or maybe you say, I'm gonna take out his knee. He's coming at me real fast. I don't wanna hit him in the head. I'm gonna go for that knee first. And you just shatter that femur bone. We'll go right through that knee joint. We're a little lower, and you take out the lower part of his foot and he goes flying upside down. For self-defense, you have so many options when you make those decisions first. And it just takes a fraction of a second. Always do it with a breath. That helps to calm your mind so you can learn how to calm down and not slow down. So from here, better position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I want you to step in, grab the other end, and go in for a bayonet strike. Switch sides and go in for a rifle butt strike. Right? So you have 1, 2, and then you can practice side to side. 1, 2. This is going to help with mobility, flexibility, endurance, and strength. This is going to get you moving again. From here, better position, strike, strike, bring it up, bring it up, bring it through and back, straight down, and then go into a bunch of these. 1, 2, 3, and then take them to the side. 1, moving laterally. 2, 3. Maybe the guy's here. You hit this guy first, then you hit that guy, and then you hit this guy, and then you go down for the dog. Maybe they had, I don't know, they had a dog with them for some reason. All right, you know I'm joking, right? From here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then go into this. Make this your practice today in this first session, and especially this one. And then the last one I want you to practice is imagine your hands are here. You said stop, you said back up, and they did, or they were too close, right? They closed the gap, you hesitated, so now their hands are on top of you. Bring your stick down here, slam it into you, pull. That's gonna force them. I wish I had a partner to do this with. I promise. I'm looking for somebody, something. It's so weird, right? With COVID, no one's coming in. From here, they're like this. This is what you can picture it. There are all these nerves here. If you've ever done Hapkido or old style jiu-jitsu and you did a lot of the pressure points, maybe your law enforcement, pressure points, come along techniques, joint locks, that's what that is. There's a whole bunch of nerves right there. And you get, if you were here, I'd let you feel it. I'd fire them up for you, right? Remember when they used to say, and I don't know how old you are, Singe Man, but I had a feeling that you're a little bit older like me. But remember when they used to say, if the terrorists take over the plane, you don't fight back, because eventually they're going to land it, get their ransom, and then they're going to take helicopters out of there and go to Bermuda, or something like that, right? And then on 9/11, they flew the planes into the buildings, and then in that last plane that went down in the Pennsylvania field, the guy in the back was talking to his wife, and he said, I think we know what's going on. They're going to fly this thing into the Capitol building. And then the last thing they say they heard was, let's roll, because they realized the old rules don't apply. Have you seen what's happening in places like New York with these feeble grandmas and grandpas, 70, 80, 90 years old, walking around minding their own business, and the guy comes up and slashes them with a knife, or comes up and punches them in the head, or smashes them to the ground? Feeble, weak, not hurting anybody, not bothering anybody. And this is what I'm saying in answer to you, because it was a really great point, and it's not a criticism of your point, it's a response, because I love your thinking. If you just go into the thing, feeble, let's say you go into the fetal position on the ground, and before, the guy would be like, and he'd walk away. Now, imagine 30 of them coming up, and 29, because the 30th one has the camera out, so they can post it on Facebook or live stream it. And the rest of them are coming up doing that kind of stuff. Because that's what's happening right now. Not all the time, and I'm not trying to be alarmist or negative or dour or anything like that, but that's what's happening, is you now have a choice. Defend yourself or be a victim. And for me, well, yeah. And then they come, but this is what's happening. The guy's leaning on his cane because he is crippled and he can't walk very well and he's very old. And the other guy comes up and kicks his cane out from under his hand. He falls to the ground and the guy runs up and kicks him in the teeth. 90 years old, his head is bleeding out. And that's happening right now. That's happening over and over and over again. Where in the past it seemed like human nature kept us from doing such horrific things to each other. It seems like there's this pocket of humanity right now that have lost their mind and their morals and their values, and they're hurting the most innocent, the weakest, the most unlikely to fight back. It's the epitome. We've reached the pinnacle, the apex, the acme of just thuggish, horrific, bullying, gross behavior. And yeah, and then the police, they're either afraid of getting COVID or they're afraid of getting getting the camera on them when they go in to try to stop what's happening, right? And we don't have to get in politics. It's not about that. It's about you are your first responder. So yeah, I would think if we said 20 years ago, you would be right. If you looked like you couldn't defend yourself, they would probably leave you alone if they were that kind of an animal. But I'm saying that the animals they have now, by animal I mean it as a derogatory term, those nasty guys that are going around beating up the weakest and the most vulnerable in our society, they thrive on that. That's like a fresh steak to a bear or something, or to a lion, right? For them, they love that. And so when they see you, if you look like you're the most feeble you can look, they're coming after you harder. And it's because they're videotaping it and they want to upload it, or they're live streaming it. So don't be that victim. Instead, you put your hands and you say, hey, back up. They don't want that. They want the weak ones, the ones that are like this. They don't want this. They don't want that, right? They don't want that. They don't want that. That's what you said at the beginning. That might look menacing. They certainly don't want that. I mean, I wouldn't do the spinning, because I like to wait, like one shot, one in the Marine Corps. That's what we're taught. Make every shot count. I want every shot to count. From this back up, I will defend myself. It's my right. And then this one, and then that one. And then learn how to move around so that you can do that. Let's review real quick. This is the warm-up. Get the blood flowing, to build the calluses, to develop proprioception and spatial awareness. And you go back and forth. Not necessarily for the fight, but this is the warm-up. This is like a boxer who jumps rope. He's not jumping rope in the ring. He doesn't bring the rope into the ring. You're not bringing the spin into the fight. You can when we start talking about this. But that's a little bit different, right? When we start going into these moves, that's just disguising repetition. It's a kind of a spin. It's that same figure eight, but this one, you have a little bit less control. And we can agree to disagree. Some guys will say that's wrong. And I'm not saying they're wrong. We're just different. I'm not better, I'm not worse. It's not right, it's not wrong, it's different. All right, so you get the warm-up going, both sides spinning, crossing back, spinning, and again, you can do all this from the chair. From here, practicing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we go down at an angle and back, up and up, across and back, horizontal, vertical, bayonet strike, rifle butt strike. And then if you want, I like to do this every workout. I go to the side, I step in, so I can practice moving laterally, moving to the side, so you're not stuck just going forward and back. And think about ribs, right? Think about hips. If you hit somebody here in that hip, that's enough to make them go to the ground for some people. Maybe you go into that thigh, right? Maybe it's that dog coming up real fast, vicious dog that is out mauling people or whatever. But practice that. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10, 11 if you want. You can put them all together and then switch hands, do the same thing on the other one. Finally, from here, practice a high block. From here, just bring it up, and then you add your strike. You can start the whole thing. From here, high block, down, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, to the side, we're not done yet, back, and then back the other way. And then if you do that over and over and over again, you only have to do that 5 minutes a day. You'll get so good so fast. And in a week, you get this on Monday, by Friday, you're a cane master, or you're maybe not a cane master, but you know what I'm talking about. You've mastered the basics of being able to defend yourself with big slicing strikes. Now that doesn't cover any of the things you do with the other side with the joint locks, and the wrist, come along techniques, and the holds, and all the nasty things you can do, pulling them in here, pulling them here, whipping that leg out from under them, going between the legs. You can imagine what comes next, right? But you don't have to learn that from the start. Don't learn that from the start. Learn how to practically defend yourself with a big stick with a hook on the end. And then later, learn the intricate, finer points of the esoteric side, of the aesthetic side, the pretty stuff, right? That you do with this. But do the big stuff first, big motions, big motions. Starts with that block, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, down, in, other side, to the side. These are the ribs. The guy's rushing up behind, strike, step back, strike. And if you do that, you're gonna get fit faster. You're gonna improve your mobility, flexibility, strength, and endurance. And you're gonna be mastering the basics of how to defend yourself. You're gonna be a cane master of the basics. For cane, combat cane, spinning, whatever you wanna call it, whatever your style is, work up to those higher level techniques, but start with the basics of cane self-defense. How to fight with a basic self-defense cane or walking cane or cane master's cane. They're all about the same when you break it down to the very basic level. Grab your cane. Remember, send me that email if you're interested in one of these super lightweight, super hard, flexible rattan trainers, or see the link below. You can order it from below. Or if you're ready for an everyday carry cane, that harder oak, break and shatter bones, super durable, super effective. It's called the Street Cane in the link down below. Go take a look at that link. And then reach out to me. I love to hear from you guys. I want to know what you think. This is a conversation, not just me talking at you, swinging at you. I want to hear what you think, what I'm missing, what I could do better, or what you're learning, what else you need to learn, what you need to work on. Put them in the link or the comment section below, and send me an email, info@quantumstrong.com. I'll see you guys in the very next one. Thank you.